Hi guys, welcome back to Bridges Bookshop. I'm here to tell you more about books from our collection. This is a book today I'm going to talk to you about in here. It's a book that you're not going to be able to buy anymore, basically. It's because it's now illegal to trade in books such as this. And of course I'm talking about Ivory. So in here, in this antique leather box, in its original case, is this Book of Common Prayer. It's about 150 years old, I believe. We've had it for many years. Part of our personal collection, not for sale, for a very good reason, because it's now illegal to sell. Which is what I mean by that you're very unlikely to be able to find one of these now, because what's happening is books like this aren't available on the market anymore, for good reason. Obviously, trading in ivory has been banned for a long time. It was you were able to trade in ivory products that were produced pre-1947 for a long time. Since 2022 in the UK, it's become even harder now. You have to have very specific items only, and then in that case you still have to apply for a permit, get a certificate, pay for that certificate for an exemption. I'll try and include some screen grabs and stuff of some of the conditions behind that, but mainly they're items that have got a volume of 10% of the volume of the item has to be ivory or less. This you might get away with, but I wouldn't want to try, because it's got the ivory spine, ivory front board, rear board, latch, this little on the cover there. So this is a personal collection item, not for sale. When it's a personal item, you don't need the exemption certificate. You're keeping it for yourself. It's not against the law to do that. However, if I was to sell this, trade it, lend it out, etc., you could get a whopping great big fine, prosecuted for it. I think it's up to £250,000 fine, up to 5 years in prison. Quite a hefty punishment. Rightly so. The government believe that what's been happening is more modern versions of ivory have been adopted to appear as if they were more antique, which obviously is impacting the elephant population. However, this is a certified antique edition, been around for a long time. We know it's ivory for a few things. It's cold to the touch. Ivory usually is. If it's a imitation, you'll find it's not as cold. In fact, ivory was often used as a way of blocking heat. For example, a silver teapot, an antique silver teapot, when filled with hot boiling tea, instead of the heat transferring around to the handle and it being unable to be held because it'd be too hot, they would put tiny slivers of ivory at each end of the handle, which would then block the heat going radiating around the handle. So always good indication. You feel it is cold. It's heavier. It's kind of discoloured. It tends to yellow with age, which this has. There is another test you can do that I haven't done on this item yet. It's the hot needle test, where you really heat up a hot needle and you press it in, and if it sinks in and smokes, then it's plastic. If it doesn't, then it's ivory or possibly bone. So I just wanted to show you this one today because, like I say, you're not going to be able to see them around now. They're not going to be available for sale in shops. Many dealers and whatnot won't bother going through the process of trying to get an exemption certificate if they're even applicable to their items. So unfortunately, well, fortunately and unfortunately, obviously this was taken from an elephant tusk, and this item was made, the elephant died, but it's still a nice item. We like it. It's a nice item I wouldn't like to go and see more elephants killed, etc. But I think it is important that the ones that have been, the items that have been created, I see no need to destroy them. I feel like that's even more of a waste. So we've kept hold of this for our own personal collection as a reminder really to the history of bindings. As you know, we do deal in a lot of fine bindings, and this we would consider a fine binding, but again, it's very much like our tortoise shell binding. I don't know whether you've seen our tortoise shell binding. Again, it falls under the same parameters as the ivory. You can't sell it now unless you have an exemption certificate. Lots of laws around it. Again, for our own personal collection. And we have a lot of items. Where is the ivory? Not the ivory, here it is. Sorry. This is what I'm talking about. The tortoise shell. Much like the tortoise shell, it's just another example in our collections of different bindings. So there we have it. I'll just open it up for you and show you what it's like in the inside. Like silk end papers, paste down. Same at the rear. Gilt edges all the way around. This is pinned to the front board. The latch is pinned. Let's get to the title page. Yeah, common prayer. There you go. Lovely item back in the day. It's been well looked after, kept securely in its case. I must say the case smells a little musty. The silk lining, the smell of it is a little bit musty, but it's kept it safe. Put it in there, push it down. There we go. I'll try and include some screen grabs, like I say, of the actual current laws, etc. We totally agree with the ban. You know, I don't think it's right that we should be selling in the instance where people are trying to pass off modern ivory as antique. Personally, I don't see an issue with having existing antique ivory items such as and much like the tortoise shell. But let me know what you think if you've got a different opinion to it. Obviously, we try not to be offensive with the items that we're showing you. We're a bit like a museum. We're showing you items from the past, and that's how we learn from our mistakes. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Subscribe to our channel, go back through our catalogue and have a look at all the other books that I've shown you. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again. Goodbye. Bye-bye.